بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. Just going to give a short story this morning. It's a little bit of a sad story, but it shows the emotion of the Prophet ﷺ. So this is a quick summary of the life of Ibrahim alayhi salam, the son of the Prophet ﷺ. He was the last born child of the Prophet ﷺ, born to Sayyida Maryam al-Qibtiyya, who had been a gift of Muqawqas, the ruler of Egypt, in the 6th year of the Hijrah. Rasulullah ﷺ had had his daughters, and then he was given the blessing of the birth of a son, Ibrahim, late in his life. He was very happy about this, and the Sahaba around him were very happy to share this joy with him, that he had given the birth of a son. On the birth of Ibrahim, the Prophet ﷺ came out of his house saying, وَلَدَ لِي اللَّيْلَ غُلَامٌ فَسَمَّيْتُهُ بِأَبِي إِبْرَاهِيمَ. A boy was born to me last night. I've named him by my forefather Ibrahim. So he named him after the Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salam, who was the father of all the prophets in our tradition. On the 7th day, as is the sunnah, the head of Ibrahim was shaved, and silver was distributed to the poor equal to the weight of the hair. We know that, again, this is a sunnah that we follow for newborns. The women of the Ansar all were hoping to be selected as his wet nurse, the one who would give him milk. However, the honor was given to Burda, Khawla bint al-Mundir from the Banu Adi ibn Najjar clan. She would be the foster mother of Ibrahim, and her husband was Abu Sayf al-Bara ibn Aus, who was a blacksmith by trade. The Prophet ﷺ would often go to the Banu Najjar clan to see his son. Anas would describe how the Prophet ﷺ interacted with him. So دخلنا مع النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم أبي سيف القين وكان ذئرا لإبراهيم ابن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم فأخذه فقبله وشمه. So we entered with Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam the house of Abu Sayf the blacksmith, who was the husband of the wet nurse of Ibrahim, and the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam would hold Ibrahim and kiss him and smell his scent. So he would hold him close to him and he would smell him. As we know, the smell of a newborn baby, how that is unique and very pleasant. So the Prophet ﷺ again was showing his affection for children and for his son specifically, kissing him and displaying affection to strengthen the bond between him and his son. And then Ibrahim became sick, and he didn't actually complete his 18th month in his life, so he passed away in his toddlerhood. And Anas describes another time ثم دخلنا عليه بعد ذلك إبراهيم يجود بنفسه فجعلت عينا رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم تذرفان. We came another time and Ibrahim was breathing heavily in the pangs of death, and tears were streaming from the eyes of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So the Sahaba were surprised to see this emotion of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, how he was crying as his son was dying. They were wondering, is this a sign of not accepting the decree of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? And why is the Prophet ﷺ doing this? To the point that, and they were surprised again that he's showing this emotion. And so Abdurrahman ibn Auf said, فقال له Abdurrahman ibn Auf رضي الله عنه وأنت يا رسول الله. So saying it as a surprise that even you cry, Rasulullah, when you see this emotion. And the Prophet ﷺ replied, Ya ibn Auf, innaha rahma, thumma atba'ha bi ukhra. So the Prophet ﷺ said, Oh Ibn Auf, this is mercy, showing that this is mercy in the heart, his heart, that he's showing to his son as he's dying, and while he was still continuing to shed tears. And then the Prophet ﷺ said his famous saying, فقال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم إن العين تدمع والقلب يحزن ولا نقول إلا ما يرضى ربنا وأن بفراقك يا إبراهيم لمحزونون. So the Prophet ﷺ, as Ibrahim was breathing his last, the Prophet ﷺ said, certainly the eye tears and the heart grieves, but we only utter that which our sustainer is pleased with. O Ibrahim, we are very sad at your separation. So the Prophet ﷺ again was showing grief as his son passed away, showing that it's okay to show this emotion. And it is also a rahmah. So men often think that it's not acceptable to cry or to show your emotion. And here, the best example for us, our Prophet ﷺ would show his emotion, would cry in these types of situations. And we know, as a side note, that the children that passed away before the age of puberty, the children of the Muslim as well as the non-Muslim. There's a hadith about this specifically. They are playing in a garden in Jannah at the feet of Ibrahim. Ibrahim alayhi salam is watching over them, and they are playing in Jannah, and they are able to go anywhere in Jannah by the grace of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So may Allah help the parents around the world of the Muslims that are losing their children and make it easy for them, and may the children be granted the Jannah at the feet of Ibrahim alayhi salam. Jazakumullah khair.